This is a crank assembly, the flywheels of which would have originally been used in a 350 Indian Royal Enfield Bullet, and I've had them in the lathe and machined them down to a smaller diameter and reduced the width of them, mainly to reduce the weight, and between the two of them I've brought the weight of them down by 1.6 kilograms. So that will greatly help the acceleration of the engine that they're going to be put in. I've also had to then drill all these holes here to rebalance them to suit the 500 engine with a heavier piston, because obviously the 350's piston would have been lighter. This is the first set of flywheels that I've done in this way from a 350. I never really thought that they could be rebalanced after lightening to suit the 500, but all those holes there mean that I've just scraped it. Now I put it all together. It's got a forged steel conrod and a roller big end, top sort of spec job that, and I've been truing it, and here we see this gauge is actually in thousandths of an inch. 0 to 5 is 5 thousandths of an inch, and on this one 0 to 1 in metric is 0.1 of a millimetre. So we've got 5 thou from there to there, and we've got 0.1 of a millimetre, or 4 thou from the 0 to the 10. So we've actually got, looking at about 3, maybe 4 thou that one's clocking, and this one likewise probably about 3 to 4, well, no more than 3 actually, and both are rising and falling at the same time, so one cancels the other one out. Also, the rise and fall of this one is the same, happens at the same point of rotation and by the same amount, even if you clock it there. So that means that overall, when this is placed into some main bearings, it is actually going to spin nice and truly, and you can see the flywheels there spinning evenly. There's no sort of run out up and down or wobbling around. So that's a nice job, and that's going to help that engine that it will go into, which is Asbo number 14, which is well on the way. I've already ported and squish banded the new big head for it, and upgraded a 5-speed gearbox. This means that I can get the main bearings into the crankcases and put this in, and then we're starting to look at what's going to become an engine. It's been a long haul with this one. We've had a few issues with the fit of the conrod on the big end, which needed honing out, and I've had to wait quite a while for that to be done. But I got that back on Friday, and so I've put the whole lot together now. After machining the flywheels and lightening them, we've got probably about the lightest crank I'll have put in an Asbo Bullet 500 so far, so it should have pretty lively acceleration, I would think, and the main bearings should also get an easier life. And the other sort of flip side of a lighter crank is your brakes also feel better, because you haven't got so much mass and inertia when you throttle off for a corner or whatever and you're going to brake. You haven't got great big heavy flywheels pushing you on, but at the same time you've still got enough flywheel in there that if you want to plod through the village at 30 miles an hour, donk 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 donk, you can do. But open the throttle and it'll pick up the speed and the revs a lot more quickly than it ever did before, and that's before you even port the head and stick high compression pistons in, and you end up with a very, very lively bullet that most other ones would find it pretty difficult to keep up with, I would say.